Yo, 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 welcome to Proper Things, the FPL show brought to you by the ttfplproleague. Pro League. It's your boy Michael, and we're here with the Game Week 32 preview. And remember, this game week is a special game week because we have two teams on doubles, Crystal Palace and Newcastle. So there's a lot of opportunity for points, a lot of opportunity to play at chips. So without further ado, we get in things hot and sweaty with the review of Game Week 31 to see where my team lands going into this mini double game week. And after a very lean Game Week 31, miraculously, it was a small green arrow for your boy. So he moved out of the 14.5k range now to the 11k 837th ranked in the world. So a small green arrow, but we're moving up nonetheless. And if you look at how we got that green arrow, it was a 61-point game week, but we took a -4. So the net score was a 57. And in that 57, the two new arrivals returned with Jacob Murphy scoring 16 points. He came in for Clivert, and Dan Burn came in to replace the injured Gabriel. And he returned a clean sheet as well. We also got 3 points from Sells, a goal from Munoz for 8 points. Kanati unfortunately blanked, 1 point for him. Bruno Fernandes blanked with Embuino, double threes for both assets. Salah, a big blank as my captain, so 2 by 2 is 4 for him. Evan Nielsen came through with a massive 13 points, and Marmoush also blanked. And the much touted Isaac, which I went against this game week, also blanked for 2 points. So we were lucky to escape the Isaac train on Monday night. So a small green arrow, and now we're looking ahead to the mini game week 32 and all the red flags that are currently in my team. So now looking at the red flags in my team, starting with the goalkeeping position, I am pretty content with Sells and happy to hold him all the way through. But with my backup goalkeeper Fabianski not being a starter for West Ham, eventually I'm going to have to bring in a keeper with the bench boost in mind. With the bench boost not being active in Game Week 32, I could put that on the back burner. But for those who have the ability to bring in a keeper and have that Crystal Palace and Newcastle slot third spot open, Henderson and Pope are going to be great options, especially Henderson with 2 games this week and 2 games next week. But for those who already maximize their Crystal Palace and Newcastle allocations, looking at the future, I think Martinez and Raya are the next best 2 goalkeeping options. They both double in Game Week 33. So currently, no bench boosts in mind for Game Week 32, so I'm content with Sells in goal versus Everton. Moving into the defense now, I currently have Munoz, who's on a double, and Dan Burn, who's on a double, accompanied by Kanati, who plays West Ham. So I'm pretty content. For those who are looking to bring in a Crystal Palace defender, I think Munoz is the best of the bunch. Remember, Maggie is going to be suspended. Richard, we don't know if he's going to be back from injury. Munoz, of course, has the attacking utility, showing it with the goal last week. So he's the best of the Crystal Palace assets. From Newcastle, you could pretty much pick any one of their back 4 with Trippier, Shah, Livramento, and Dan Burn all having great utility. It's definitely going to be a toss-up on which one you go for, but you just go with which one you think is going to get the points on the double. They both have threats in the attacking third, whether it be the header from Burn, Shah with the wonder goals, or the fullbacks with the assists. So definitely, you just pick your poison there with the Newcastle backline. For those who already have their 3 Newcastle and 3 Crystal Palace slots, Vardiol is the standout centre-back option there, one defensive option there for the double in 33 if you don't already have him. And for those who are looking to pivot that Arsenal asset, Saliba might be the guy, Kirill being, well, the budget option. But definitely have the Crystal Palace, Newcastle, and Vardiol ahead of all the rest of alternatives. Now we're heading into midfield, and this is where things get interesting for my team. Currently, I already have the 3 Newcastle assets. So I have Burn, Murphy, and Isaac, so I'm not looking towards a Newcastle asset. So for those who have the spot, they could look at Murphy, and if you get news on Gordon, you could bring him in as well. However, I only have Munoz from Crystal Palace. So the conversation between Eze and Sa is going to be an interesting one for me. 2 game weeks ago, I would definitely go Sa, as he was the toast of the town. But since the FA Cup quarterfinals and Game Week 31, it seems Eze has run into some nice form. 9 points last game week. We know if Mateta is not on the field, it looks like Eze will be taking the penalty, so he has that added utility as well. So definitely looking like the 1.1 extra for Eze may be worth it at the moment. So I'm definitely looking for Eze. So Eze and Sarr are the standout midfield options. If you don't already have Murphy, he will definitely be one you should be looking to get in, especially after his double goals in game week 31. And of course, Gordon, if we get news he's back, I think you could also move for him. And now for the forwards, while Evan Nielsen for me has done a magnificent job, I think that it's time to go for Mateta. All it takes is one penalty in the next 2 game weeks. And remember, Crystal Palace has 4 games and he could be on for big points. And if you don't have him, he could be missing the train here. That's a trick there with a penalty taker in the forward line. Still pretty much affordable, 7.7 at the time of recording. So definitely looking to bring him in. And Evan Nielsen is a standout guy to make way. Happy with Isaac, of course, having the double. And Marmoush versus Crystal Palace being the spearhead of the City attack. So it would have to be Evan Nielsen for Mateta. So for those who are looking for a striker, it looks like the template forwards are in fully manned. That being again Mateta on double, Isaac on double, and Marmoush, who has the double in 33, Crystal Palace in 32. Now that you have digested all that news, you're probably wondering what my transfer moves are. And currently, I am on Evan Nielsen out and Mateta in. So that is the one I'm definitely looking to bring in because Mateta is a guy I don't think I could go without for game week 32 and 33. And alternatively, I'm looking to get Eze in for Mbuino for a -4. So 2 moves this week, another -4, just microdosing on the -4s to get my way through. However, there's an alternative where I planned another chip strategy. And this is where I'll bring Mateta in for Marmoush and keep Evan Nielsen and Isaac. Because I will be free hitting in 33. So I could pick whatever team I'll have in 33. And then in game week 34, my current setup, I will have the ability to play 11 players without taking a hit. So that is also on my mind. That is like a 5% likely to happen, as it looks like I can't go without Mateta and Eze, but I'll definitely keep that in mind going forward. So again, it's going to be Evan Nielsen out, Mateta in, Mbuino out, Eze in. And now, I know the managers probably have one more dilemma, and that's who to put the armband on. Well, have no fear, as Captaincy Corner is here. And with a double for 2 teams, they are going to dominate the Captaincy Corner for this game week. He's back from injury, disappointed owners in game week 31, but I think Isaac is going to be the most captain player this game week, barring any late injury news. I think a lot of people already own him, and it's going to be simple just to put the armband on him. In the second position, it's going to be Mateta, striker with penalties, 2 game weeks. You're going to get 2 bites of the cherry, so he's going to come in at number 2. Number 3, this is where things get dicey. We're going to have the Eze, Sarr, and Murphy toss-up. For me, if I am going for one, it will probably be Murphy because he has the better fixtures on paper. But remember, Eze has that utility of being second pen taker for Mateta, who has not been able to play 90 minutes since his return from injury. So we don't know if those minutes are going to get ramped up, so he has that utility. And Sarr seems to have come off the boil a little, so not as great as he once was. But those 3 are going to be kind of log-jammed at number 3. Personally, I'm leading Murphy simply because Newcastle have the easier fixtures on paper. In the 4th position, it's going to be Aston Villa forward, who you think is going to get the start, as he's the first single game week player that makes the list. Definitely between Watkins and Rashford, simply because they play Southampton this game, the one team that's already eliminated. So if you're looking for a single game week player, which I don't think a lot of people are, it's going to be Watkins or Rashford. And finally, the cheeky ball play is going to be a high risk, high reward pick, but you're definitely going to have to keep your ears close to any gossip news to see if Anthony Gordon is back from injury. I think if he's back on 100%, he's going to come straight back into the Newcastle team, but that is a risk in itself. 2 bites of the cherry for Anthony Gordon. He's going to be hungry off the injury, but definitely big risk here with this pick. Thus being the cheeky ball, not a lot of managers are going to have him either. So simply having him might be a differential, but captaining him is going to be an ultra differential, thus the cheeky ball play for this game week. And that concludes the captaincy corner for game week 32. And that concludes the episode for game week 32. Remember, we have the mini double Crystal Palace Newcastle heavily focused episode on those two. So if you're liking the content, don't forget to go down and leave your comments whether you like the picks, whether you think double game weeks are overrated, if you think single game week players are going to outperform them, if you think the picks were good, if you think the picks not good, if you have better alternative picks. And while you're there, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all the support. We're nearly at the finish line now, 7 game weeks to go, and that will be a wrap for this year's fantasy season. So I hope you all are enjoying green arrows, and for those pushing to get those big ranks, those little numbers next to their ranks, all the best. See you all next week, and don't forget to do proper things in all walks of life. I'll see you all next game week.